Greetings, Slackers. September Man here, and I got an article that I want to share with you. Over on Wired, dating apps exposed 845 gigabytes of explicit photos, chats, and more. Threesomes, Gay Daddy Bear, and herpes dating are among the 9 services that leak the data of hundreds of thousands of users. And it goes on to say here, it's painfully common for data to be exposed online, but just because it happens so often, that doesn't make it any less dangerous, especially when that data comes from a slew of dating apps that cater to specific groups and interests. Security researchers Noam Rodham and Rand Lokar were scanning the open internet on May 24th when they stumbled upon a collection of publicly accessible Amazon Web Services buckets. Each contained a trove of data from a different specialized dating app, including threesomes, Cougar, Gay Daddy Bear, Xpal, BBW Dating, Casual X, Sugar D, Herpes Dating, and G Hunt. In all, the researchers found 845 gigabytes and close to 2.5 million records, likely representing data from hundreds of thousands of users. They are publishing their findings today with VPN Mentor. The information was particularly sensitive and included sexually explicit photos and audio recordings. The researchers also found screenshots of private chats from other platforms and receipts for payments sent between users within the apps as part of the relationships they were building. And though the exposed data included limited personally identifying information like real names, birthdays, or email addresses, the researchers warned that a motivated hacker could have used the photos and other miscellaneous information available to identify many users. The data may not have actually been breached, but the potential was there. We were amazed by the size and how sensitive the data was, Lokar says. The risk of doxing that exists with this kind of thing is very real. Extortion, psychological abuse. As a user of one of these apps, you don't expect that other users outside the app would be able to see and download the data. As the researchers traced the exposed S3 buckets, they realized that all the apps seemed to come from the same source. Their infrastructure was fairly uniform. The websites for the apps all had the same layout, and many of the apps listed Chengdu New Tech Zone as the developer on Google Play. On March 26, 2 days after the initial finding, the researchers contacted Threesomes. The next day, they got a brief response, and all the buckets were locked down simultaneously. Wired reached out to Threesomes and Herpes Dating and attempted to reach Chengdu New Tech Zone, but did not receive a reply. This was not a hack. It was sloppy stored data. The researchers don't know whether anyone else discovered the exposed trove before they did. That's always the crux of the issue with data exposures. Mistakenly, making data accessible is at best an inconsequential mistake, but at worst can hand hackers a data breach on a silver platter. And in the case of this cadre of dating apps in particular, the information could have a real impact on user safety if it was stolen before the developer locked it down. So many breaches contain data like email addresses and passwords, which is bad enough. But when data leaks from sites like Ashley Madison, Grindr, or Cam4, it creates the potential for doxing, extortion, and other dire online abuse. In this case, herpes dating could even potentially reveal someone's health status. It's so difficult to navigate. How much trust are we putting into apps to feel comfortable putting up that sensitive data, STD information, videos, says Nina Ali, Executive Director of the Biohacking Village at DEF CON and biomedical security researcher. This is a detrimental way to out someone's sexual health status. It's not something to be ashamed of, but there's stigma because it's easier to yuck at someone else's proclivities. When it comes to STD status, the outing of this data could mean that other people won't want to get tested. That is a big peril of this situation. AWS and other cloud providers have increasingly added mechanisms to repeatedly warn users if their buckets are configured to be publicly accessible, and the problem is well known across the security industry, but there are still countless mistakes that lead to exposures. I'll link to this down in the description box below so you can read the rest of it, but there are a lot of dating apps and dating sites out there. This is something that you will want to be aware of as you move along. in your dating journey. You know, the videos, the chats, the pictures that you choose to share, all of this stuff is being collected, it's being stored, and you don't know what level of security that some of these websites put together, because a lot of them are clones, a lot of them are put together quickly. The online dating segment is a very large market, and so let's just say sites that are under the Match Incorporated group, they put a lot into the security of their apps and into their website. This is not to say that things don't happen, but one of the things that I can say is that they have had fewer news instances that I've seen over the years when it comes to these big hacks and data getting stolen. What you have to remember is that, just as this article stated, your information is being exposed. You could be doxxed. This could be tied back to your Facebook profile and other social media accounts. Anybody could use this stuff against you. So, just a friendly caution out there to those of you who do use these websites: be careful of the information that you upload. It would almost be better if you were to switch it to another service, such as maybe a messenger service or a VoIP service or something like that, if you're going to be in communication. But not to share too much on these platforms, because they could have a security problem and that could leave you exposed. Do let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. That's going to do it for this article and this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Did you enjoy this video and find it informative? Subscribe to the Slackers Method and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to receive all the latest notifications for when I upload new videos.